ITV News has heard how failures from Canada's spy agency could see former Islamic State bride Shamima Begum return to the UK. Ms Begum was 15 years old when she and two other British schoolgirls were smuggled into Syria by an informant working with Canadian intelligence. But a former spy told us that the Met Police wasn't told until a month later, ruining any chances to trace their journey. And those failures could help Shamima Begum in the next stage of her appeal to return to the UK. Our global security editor, Rohit Katru, has this special report.
After almost 4 years in the squalid detention camps of northeast Syria, lawyers for Shamima Begum, here wearing a baseball cap, are about to take the next step in a process which could allow her to return home. Part of her case rests on what happened not long after she flew out with her classmates. It's now clear that at Istanbul's main bus station, they were met by a smuggler. But the man who got them into Syria was an informant working for the Canadian spy agency.
I heard of the case. I know the players, and it was a shock.
One of its former officers is speaking publicly for the first time because she believes there was a cover-up about the role of her one-time colleagues, which she wants to be investigated. Huda Mukbil travelled the world as a senior intelligence officer and was working in the Middle East when the girls went to Syria.
I think it's important to repatriate her to the UK, her country, as well as, making sure that she has the support. I'm sure there is, it's a traumatic experience to be exploited in this way, unfortunately by a Canadian source, to be trafficked, to be exploited by ISIS fighters.
Based on her knowledge of normal procedures, she believes the agency broke its own rules, allowing the girls to be smuggled in by their source. Then they sat on those details about his involvement. The three girls arrived in Turkey on the 17th of February 2015, but Canadian intelligence learned of the role of its recruit, Mohammed El-Rashid, on the 21st. He was arrested in Turkey 1 week later, but it was the following month that Canadian officials arranged to meet Scotland Yard. The Canadian service told ITV News all its activities must comply with the law and it cannot comment on investigations.
Something went wrong here, and we might not have known that the source smuggled minors, but the moment that we did, everything else after that lined up. Mistakes do happen, but it's what you do with it afterwards. And so not informing the Metropolitan Police was a mistake, in my opinion.
The allegations of a cover-up were first made by the author Richard Kabaj in a book which studied the relationship between the so-called Five Eyes network of intelligence agencies.
In a way, you could say that it's a laudable thing that the Canadians were able to recruit someone from inside ISIS territory when other agencies within the Five Eyes intelligence network were struggling to do so. However, in this case, there was just bad tradecraft around the recruitment, because had it been well managed, the mistake of smuggling in children into ISIS territory may not have happened.
Please find enclosed.
The Home Office said its decision to strip Shamima Begum of her citizenship was justified because she became a threat to national security after going to Syria. But from Canada, new questions now about how she got there. Rohit Katru, ITV News.